Greeting, brothers. I want to talk to you about agency. I want to talk to you about black male agency. BMA. Brothers, we are more than victims. You and I live in a hostile society. A hostile society that has a low opinion of black men. A society that stigmatizes us, that imposes all sorts of negative mythology on us. We live in a society that places significant barriers on our mobility. We know this. We have to deal with the police. We have to deal with criminal courts. We have to deal with employers, potential employers who have issues with employing black men. We have to deal with the banks. We have to deal with the schools, K through 12, higher education, graduate schools, professional schools. We have to deal with the marketplace. We have to negotiate a terrain that greets us with high levels of negativity in our interpersonal lives, with our girlfriends, with our wives, with our lovers, with our concubines, with our brothers. We deal with tension. We deal with stress. We deal with anxiety. If you have children, we have to deal with the challenges and dilemmas that come with that. And brothers, it's easy for us, based upon our experiences, to see ourselves solely as victims. And brothers, the worst thing that we can do, is to adopt a victim mindset. To think that we are so constrained, that we are so limited, that there's absolutely nothing that we can do to move. There's absolutely nothing that is possible for us in terms of rising up and becoming the people that we want to be, of transcending, of growing. We don't have the luxury of being victims. We don't have the luxury of other people in our society, particularly in our community, who see themselves as victims and whose victimization is responded to by the government, by corporate America, by nonprofit organizations, by a host of institutions. An entire economy that is geared towards intervening in their victimization. We don't have that luxury. We don't have that luxury because it is clear, especially right now in 2020, that no one is coming to save us. There is no Salvation Army for black men. There is no rescue mission for us. We're in the middle of an election year, and we see both parties, Democrats and Republicans, we see how they move. And we see how limited their response is to the black male situation. We can't rely on the vote. We can't rely on one political party or two political parties to address our situations. But what we can do is maximize what we have. What we can do is use our creativity, our internal resources, our imaginations to be radical agents. And what that means, brothers, it means that we have to be able to make a distinction. We have to be able to separate that aspect of our lives that we cannot control. Things beyond us, outside of us. We have to separate that from that part of our lives that we can control. That is, we have to be able to recognize that we have the ability to affect how we respond and engage the world. We have the ability to affect how we interact with hostile police forces. We have the creativity, the insight, and the wherewithal to act creatively in relationship to our intimacies and how we respond to negative situations that are presented to us by the opposite sex and our interactions with them. And beyond the opposite sex, with other populations, with those racist populations who are constantly trying to entrap us, we have the resolve, the wherewithal, and the imagination to control how we deal with those people. And that's agency, brothers. And at the economic level, we have to demonstrate agency. We know that we deal with closed doors. We know we deal with a hostile environment shaped by capitalism. Even when we're in the workplace, we have to be able to navigate the workplace in very sophisticated ways. And we can be agential by being forward thinking, by always thinking 10, 20, 30 steps ahead of the rest of this society in terms of how we exist here and live and be. We are more than victims, brothers. And I want to encourage you guys to not succumb to the victimized mentality, to victim psychology, because it is destructive. Because victims look for someone to always rescue them. And victims don't move unless there's somebody who's intervening. At the end of the day, victimization is a dead end. It doesn't matter what our circumstances have been, how we have been pained in the past, traumatized in the past, by people in this society, by family members, by the way we grew up. We do not have to be held captive to those things. We can imagine a different existence, new possibilities. So I want you, brothers, to understand that we are agents. We're not victims. We will continue to live in this society that's hostile to us, that is aggressive towards us, but we're going to do so in the creative, agential fashions. We're going to demonstrate BMA, Black Male Agency.